So we don't quite know exactly what the Indian T20I squad for the Afghanistan series will look like just yet. And the fact is that the series is going to be starting in less than 4 days' time. So it is rather surprising. But what we do know for sure right now is that there are two players who will not be taking part, or rather, should I say, two more players who will not be taking part in that series. We reported earlier that there would be no Jasprit Bumrah and no Mohammad Siraj taking part in this three-match T20I series due to the fact that they will, in fact, be rested because there is a five-match test series that will be coming up against England, and the selectors want to be keeping them fresh for that. But now we also know that there's going to be no Hardik Pandya and no Suryakumar Yadav for this particular series as well. Now, neither comes as a big surprise. I mean, Hardik Pandya hasn't been seen in any kind of cricketing action since he suffered that rather unfortunate injury during the World Cup. You remember that was the match that was taking place in it was taking place in the World Cup. It was against Bangladesh, and he's been working recently more often than not on his, let's say, strength and conditioning. But match fitness apparently with Hardik is a bit of an issue, which is why he's been advised not to take part in this particular series. But with Suryakumar Yadav, again, there were speculations, and again, it was a tightly guarded, let's say, secret, or we didn't really know whether or not he'd be fit. Now we know for sure he's not going to be taking part in this particular, series either. You remember he hurt his ankle during that T20I in Johannesburg. Hasn't played a single game or been anywhere close to competitive cricket since. And to make things worse, there's going to be no Rituraj Gaikwad either. And Gaikwad, it continues a bit of an unfortunate string of luck for him, wherein he ends up getting a chance in the team and doesn't quite get a long rope, not due to anything else, but due to injuries, some form of injuries cropping up on the other case. In fact, in Gaikwad's case, I would argue it's a little bit worse because the finger injury that he sustained, there's no surety whether or not he'll be okay for even the first leg of the England tour. You remember that he was, in fact, the backup opener even for South Africa at the series at first, but ended up getting ruled out due to that finger injury. That injury is still plaguing him, and there's no certainty as to whether or not he will be there, at least for the first half of the England series as well. So, definitely unfortunate, and it is something that in many ways we were aware about. We knew that there was going to be little to no chance that a Hardik would be available, and with Sky also, it seems touch and go at best. As things stand, both of them seem likely to be making their comebacks for the IPL itself. But of course, a lot of people also are still waiting to know what exactly that squad for the Afghanistan T20I series is going to look like. Normally, there'd not be this much hype over an Afghanistan squad, but in this case, there is, of course, there's a lot of interest and anticipation because you know that there's every chance that a Rohit Virat are going to be making a comeback. You don't know what the team composition is going to look like. You have no idea really. So it's definitely a lot of anticipation. Add to that the fact that this is going to be the last T20I series that the Indian team are going to be playing before the T20 World Cup. After this, there's no other white ball series for the team. You've got this series, you've got 5 tests against England, you've got the IPL, and then straight up you've got the T20 World Cup. So definitely a tense few months, and it is rather unfortunate that injuries seem to be catching up at what you could say would be the worst time. I mean, let's be fair. I don't think there would be any captaincy issues. At least I hope there would have been no captaincy issues. If you had a fit Hardik Pandya, then there wouldn't be any debates over, who's going to be the captain, are the senior players coming back or not. There would be no debate of that sort, at least in my mind. I would like to believe that. But with no Hardik around, it seems that a door has opened for the return of Kohli and Rohit in this particular T20I format. So definitely, a lot of that chaos stems from there. Not to forget the fact that Pandya is a certified starter across white ball formats. He's definitely a first choice player in both ODIs and T20Is. With Sky, exactly the same as far as his T20Is are concerned. Obviously, in ODIs, he's not anywhere close to being a first choice player. But in T20Is, he's one of the first names on the team sheet, and that's why also he was named vice captain. In fact, I also do think if he was, if he was around, if he was also fit, then you may very well have seen him leading the team. I don't know, it's just speculation, it's just my opinion, but I do think that Sky would have probably been the leader. He did a good job of leading the Indian team during even the South Africa series. He had done very well there, performed well with the bat, definitely made some good captaincy calls as well. So I think it could have been him who would have been leading it. It was even in the Australia series, you remember, he had done relatively well leading the side. So I think it would have definitely been him if not for Hardik's unavailability. But unfortunately, no Hardik, and there's not going to be any no Hardik, no Sky. So potentially that is why you're seeing Rohit Sharma come back into the side. That is at least, of course, my all my speculation right now. Officially, we haven't gotten a single confirmation yet, which is again very surprising, very surprising for the very simple reason that normally you know what the India team looks like at least about a week or so in advance. At least that's the ideal circumstance. This time around, though, you don't really know what it is that the team looks like at all. You have no idea what the side looks like. You don't really know what it is, in fact, that this particular T20 team is going to look like. Even if you're bringing in the old guard, the so-called old guard, are you going to be making space for the young guard? Are you going to be keeping them on the squad? Are they going to be discarded? You don't really know. And to answer a question which seems to be coming, it's from Pratik Bharbat. He's asking, is Rituraj available? Pratik, no, he's not. He also will not be taking part in this T20I series. The finger injury that he's had as unfortunately, it's going to keep him out for a little while. He could miss the first couple of tests at least of the England series as well. You remember he was part of, let's say, the reserves. He was the first choice in the test for South Africa, but doesn't seem like he's going to, in fact, be, part of that as well. Rudra Paul with an interesting comment saying that Rohit Virat should not be part of the T20 team. You should be bringing in the younger players. Rudra Paul, I wholeheartedly agree with you, but we are not, in fact, making those calls. We have been advocating for a long time that, you should be going in with a younger squad, new mentality, all of that. Doesn't seem to be happening. So that's the breaking news update. We'll join you guys as soon as we have confirmation of, whether or not Rohit and Kohli are back. And we do have every reason to believe that Rohit Kohli are going to be back in that Afghanistan squad for the T20I series. A lot of you are asking when exactly is the squad coming. Your guess is as good as mine, really. Let's put it that way. But as soon as it happens, you know the destination, you know where it is, you'll get the news first. It'll be right here on Sports Today. So for now, I'm taking you guys leave. But thank you so much for joining us. Please don't forget, if you enjoy our work, like, share, subscribe, tap that bell, leave us a comment, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, on and Facebook as well. Also, download the Sports app, check out some other videos we've done, and stay tuned. We do have plenty coming your way, including that much anticipated team announcement. For now, from my side, it's goodbye.